Pandalam, went in search, went in leisure with his sepoys to the forest, and he heard a wail of a baby boy. And he went into the forest and found out the boy lying, and it was crying, and it had a beautiful gem attached to its neck. So he was named Manikantha. Kantham is throat, Mani is gem. So Manikantha is one who has a gem by birth on the throat. Throat is a very important chakra that is called Vishuddhi chakra. So Vishuddhi chakra is the seat of words, expressions, music, and everything related to literature and sounds. So Manikantha by birth was, it should be understood that by birth he was a very pure Vishuddha. Also, he had the ability of vak. Vak means word. So you have heard about, and we have just listened to a song, a very beautiful song. I don't think many people can sing like Shri Yeshudas. Such baritone voice, such melodious voice, such sonorous voice, such deep manly voice. Whatever language it be, whether it be Goritara Gaumbada or Ayyappa Kirtanam, he excels in all these levels. That is because his Vishuddhi Chakra is so active, so pure, cleansed. So from previous birth, everyone takes their debts and credits carried forward to this birth. Ayyappa by birth was shining in the Vishuddhi Chakra, above the Anahata. And Ayyappa was taken to the Pandalam palace. And let's go back to a little history, how this Pandalam palace came into being. You know, there is a place called Punalur in Kerala, Punalur. Punalur is famous for one thing, that is, Punalur has the highest temperature of daytime in Kerala. In Punalur, you can fry papad on the road. It's such a kind of, it hits 42 degrees, and sometimes it is really burning heat. So Punalur is famous for that. You're infamous for that, I can say. But Punalur is a popular route that connects with Tamil Nadu. From Kollam Punalur, there is a short route to Tenkashi in Tamil Nadu. Tenkashi was a kingdom, a part of kingdom of Pandyas. So Pandya Rajas, at the time of Tirumala Naikar had a battle with Pandya kings. And so many Pandya families had to exile from Tamil Nadu with their Kula Daivatam. The Pandya Kula Daivatam is Madurai Meenakshi. Madurai Meenakshi is none other than Matangi. Matangi or Raja Matangi. In Tantra Shastra, Mother Sri Vidya or Lalitambika holds the highest position. Her Mantrini means her prime minister, is Raja Matangi. So her chief commandant is Varahi. So these two deities serve the Parashakti Lalitambika as prime minister and chief commandant of the army. So Matangi took birth as a daughter of the Pandya king, Matanga Rishi, Matanga Muni Kanni. In Tamil, they say Matanga Muni in Kanni. Kanni means a virgin. Virgin of a child of Matanga Muni, it is also said so. Pandya Bala means child of Pandya Raja. Okay. So Madurai Meenakshi is the family Paradevata deity of ruling deity of Pandya kingdom. And you know that Lord Padmanabha is the ruling deity of Travancore kings. So each kingdom has its own family deity, ruling deity. So when they exiled from Tamil Nadu, the route was Tirunelveli to Tenkashi, Tenkashi to Punalur, Punalur to Konni. Konni is in Pathanamthitta. From Konni, they established a kingdom in Pandalam, built a palace and settled there. So the king's name was Rajasekhara, dad of Ayyappa. So by that time, Mohini was killed by Shasta. That is a previous history. Before Ayyappa, it happened. So many people believe that this boy, newfound boy, is an avatar of that Shasta, because he was found in the forest. The forest is a symbolic thing. In the wilderness of life, we find the gem of wisdom. If you search for it, if you go into the forest, you find it out. You hear a cry, that means, when you reach the Anahata Chakra, you start hearing sounds. There are 10, in the Yoga Shastra, it is said that there are 10 different instruments played automatically inside you. When you reach Anahatam, Anahatam means the unstruck voice. Nobody is playing, but it is getting played naturally. So you listen to the beautiful sonorous voices of Gandharvas. You listen to the voice of Veena, flute, diff, mridangam, like that. So that is a symbolic thing. A forest man is called Shabara. Shabara means a Kirata. Kirata is a man who is in the forest. An aborigine is also called Shabara. A man who lives inside the forest, being completely one with nature. Just like me, I don't even know how to say hi. So a man who is, in Malayalam we say Katalam. Yeah, in Malayalam we say Katalam, Kattu brand. In Malayalam they say, they mock at people. He's a Kattu brand. He doesn't know how to say that. Like that. So Ayyappa was also Shabarakriti. He was found in the forest. He's one with the forest, son of the nature. Son of the nature. So that is why we have a lot of cesarean now. We are all modern, civilized beasts without knowing how to give birth. We cut the stomach open and take the baby out. And that is not prasavam. The word prasavam means a flow outwards. Savam means flow. Prasavam, parisavam, flowing out. The baby naturally has to flow out. That is a natural birth. These days, no natural flow out. Baby is taken out. So Ayyappa was a natural baby found inside the forest, believed to be an incarnation of Shasta, who already had a Peetham, an established Peetham, top of the hill, inside the deep, dense forest. Even now it is Periyar Reserve, is a great tiger reserve forest. Earlier times, the pilgrimage was so difficult. So many people, earlier times, used to see wild tigers. Even now we can see wild elephants. So it is now the forest area is diminishing because of the desirous, treacherous men going and cutting down trees and planting rubber trees, rubber plantation in the forest. This is one of the most dangerous things that the earth is facing now. Rubber plantation is just a cash crop. It will suck in all the water around the area and make the land dry, and rains will be lesser. Humanity is going to suffer out of this. And with this rubber, any number of things are made. The vehicle tires, including that, and the emissions of the vehicles. So rubber is something like a mahishi, I should say. Root cause of a lot of trouble. So lot of Sabarimala forest area has been encroached by people with vested interest, and they're cutting down trees and planting cash crops. This is happening now. We should know the reality also. And Ayyappa was taken to the palace and he was brought up. The Raja was very happy. His mother was also very happy. They really reveled at the arrival of the new baby, new guest. And there are certain folklore going on like that. Ayyappa's mother fell ill, and Ayyappa was sent out to the forest to avoid him because he's a Dattu Putra. Dattu means he was adopted. See, he was taken into the family, so nobody wanted him to be in the kingdom. We don't know who this guy is. He's from the forest. He doesn't say hi. So why should we invite him to the palace and make him our guest? So let's just send him out to the forest and let him be killed by the tigers. That was a plan. There's a plot against Ayyappa, set against Ayyappa. Very young boy, maybe around 7 or 8. He went into the forest. No, the palace doctor prescribed that mother wants the milk of a tigress. Tigress. The boy went in fearlessly because he is Shasta. He went in fearlessly and he did not bring milk. He brought the tiger to the palace. He rode the tiger. That is why we see pictures of Ayyappa riding a tiger. Yeah. In the Kalabha Kesari Vaji Vahanam. 3 Vahanas for Shasta. Kalabha, Kesari, Vaji Vahanam. Kalabha is elephant. Kesari is tiger or lion. Actually lion, but people intermittently use this. They change the word and use Kesari. Kesari is actually Simha Vahan. Vaji is horse. So when you go to the temple of Ayyappa, you can see the Kodimaram, the flag post. On top of the Kodimaram, usually the Vahana of the deity will be placed, whichever temple it is. If it is Durga, you can see a lion there. If it is Kali, you can see Vetalam, you can see Vetalam. Kali is Vetala Vahini. Vetalam is something like a lion with its teeth sticking out. You can see to Kodungalur temple and you can see that. So Vetala Vahini.
ഇവിടെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഉണ്ട്, സോറി ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ചെയ്യാണ്. എല്ലാം ദൈവങ്ങൾക്കൊരു വാഹനമുണ്ട്. അപ്പോ നമ്മൾ സ്പിരിച്വലി ഇതിനെ നോക്കുമ്പോ എല്ലാം എനർജീസ് സട്ടിൽ ഇന്ന് ഗ്രോസിലോട്ട് വരുമ്പോ ഒരു 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 എവറി ഒരു ആനിമൽ വഴിയാണ് വരുന്നത്. അപ്പോ കുഡ് യു എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ് യു സെഡ് കി 3 വാഹനമുണ്ട് സ്വാമി അയ്യപ്പന്. അതിന്റെ എന്തെങ്കിലും സ്പിരിച്വൽ മീനിങ് ഉണ്ടോ?
There might be. We'll have to cook up philosophy. Jaggery making. If you're interested in jaggery making, I can do that. Just a moment. Okay, sorry. There are, suppose you take the name Vaji. Ashwa or horse is symbolic of prana, the prana energy in us. So Ayyappa, being a spiritual teacher, he rides on a horse, means he is riding on the pranayama. We can say that. Hanuman is also considered as Mukhya Prana, like that. But in Tantra, it is said that Vahana holds a high status. If you look at Lord Narayana, you can see that Garuda is his Vahana. What is Garuda? Garuda is the soul. Garuda is the soul of individual Jivatma. Jivatma is Garuda, on which Paramatma resides. Paramatma travels. So that is one symbol. Like that, so many symbolicism are there. So many people say that this tiger or lion is a symbolicism of Shiva himself. Because Devi is Shiva, Shivastha, Shambhustha. Ugra Bhava, the fierce form of Devi, Devi sits on Shiva. So Shiva is considered as Devi's Vahana. So Shiva is represented as a very ferocious tiger or lion in Tantra. Okay. So Shasta, earlier deity Shasta had two wives, Purna, Pushkalamba. Shasta's wives are Purna and Pushkalamba in one particular full aspect of Shasta. Another aspect, Shasta has a son, Satyakan. So different types of Shastas are there. There are 8 types of Shastas. One which we find in Shabarimalai is Dharma Shasta. There are different types of Shastas. So one which we find in Shabarimalai is Dharma Shasta. Shasta, as I explained yesterday, is a spiritual master. Also an advisor to the king in physical mundane matters. So Shasta is a teacher, a great teacher. Somebody who teaches is Shasta, a guru, an acharya. Here he is Dharma Shasta. What is he teaching? He is teaching Dharma. So when you teach Dharma to somebody, you must be a celibate. If you are teaching spiritual aspirants, it is better that you remain unmarried. Because energy will be dissipated if you get married and lead a family life. Half of the attention will definitely go to wives and children. Earlier times, Shasta had 2 wives, I told you, Purna, Pushkalamba. But when he took up the avatar of Dharma Shasta, he sat on the highest position because Sabarimala, he sat on the peak of the hill. Because that is showing the greatness of celibacy. A celibate is the highest. Other Shastras are there who have temples on the plains. But Dharma Shastra only has the temple on top of the hill. He can see the entire land area as if he is witnessing that. So that is Purna Brahmachari, Vatu Swarupam. It's called Vatu. Vatu is a Brahmachari. So Purna Vatu Swarupam. So Dharma Shastra is teaching Dharma. What is Dharma? Adi Shankaracharya, Shankara Bhagavad Padacharya, a universal master as we know him, he has defined Dharma so clearly. Jagata sthiti karanam praninam sakshad abhyudaya nishreyasa hetu yah sa dharma. Jagata sthiti karanam, the cause of the existence of this universe. Jagata sthiti karanam praninam sakshad abhyudaya nishreyasa hetu. The cause of the existence of the world, the cause of the material prosperity and spiritual welfare of all beings, not only human beings. Pranina means anything that has prana. So dharma is the cause of the existence of this universe. Dharma is the cause for the material prosperity and spiritual emancipation of all beings. Jagata sthiti karanam praninam sakshad abhyudaya nishreyasa hetu yah sa dharma. That is dharma. So Dharma Shastra is a person who instructs on how to achieve material prosperity and also spiritual emancipation. So Dharma Shastra. You understand that? Yeah. So Ayyappa is an incarnation of this Dharma Shastra. So naturally, he also chose to be a celibate. And he was, and this story is not so popular, I'm going to tell you. This is actually a truth. We know that Kerala was created only in 1956. To be exact, November 1st. Before that, Kerala was small kingdoms. Each kingdom was attached to some great kingdom. So mostly that area to the southern parts are Tamil speaking cult. Most of them were Tamil speaking. It was a part of Tamil Nadu, you can say. So the Pandya king, being a person and family, came from Tamil Nadu. They have clear Tamil roots. Their spirituality and perspectives are highly influenced by Tamil Siddha Parampara. You understand? The Siddha Parampara starts from Sakshad Murugan. முருகன் என்ற சொல்லுக்கு அழகன் என்று அர்த்தம். முருகன் என்றால் அழகன். Murugan means the beautiful, the handsome. Murugu means so beautiful, enchanting, bewitching. Shiva's son. So Lord Muruga is the chief Siddha. The first Siddha being Shiva. Understood? That parampara was propagated throughout the southern parts of India by sage Agastya, disciple of Lord Muruga. And Agastya is considered as an avatar of Shiva also. When you go to Karnataka, Agastya is named Kiri Manjunatha. Kiri in Kannada means small, dwarf. So Kiri Manjunatha is Shiva. Kiri Manjunatha is small Shiva. So Agastya is considered as a small Shiva, a miniature of Shiva. Agastya roamed about the entire piece of land in south of India, the subcontinent. At that time, Ayyappa was initiated into Tamil Siddha Yogam by a great disciple of Agastya. His name is Pulippani Siddhar. Pulippani Siddhar. Pulippani means Vyagrapadar. When you go to the temple, Chidambaram temple, you can see two idols of two different sages praying to Lord Shiva. One is Patanjali, the master of yoga. The other is Vyagrapada. So Vyagrapada is Pulippani in Tamil. Pulippani. Vyagrapada in Sanskrit. So Ayyappa knew the nuances, intricacies, deep details of Yoga Shastra, especially Shaiva Yoga Shastra. There is a clear distinction between the Vaishnava type of yoga practiced in India, the Shaiva type of yoga. Both are different in practice. The pranayamas also change. The way in which they do pranayama will change. So each tradition has a secret practice. So Ayyappa belongs to this Tamil Siddha Shaiva Parampara. Pulippani, it was in fact not a tiger or Puli in Malayalam. In Tamil also Puli. It was actually his own master Pulippani who came into the palace. You understand?
Pulippani who came into the
palace, he went in search of tiger's milk and came into the palace. Ayyappa rode a tiger. That tiger, in that, I told you, tiger is a symbol of Shiva. And here for Ayyappa, the tiger was Shiva himself as a Siddha, Pulippani, Vyagrapada. In Tamil Nadu, we say, Sittan Poku, Sivan Poku. Sittan Poku, Sivan Poku. Sittanna, yaru Siddhanna, therinjavan. Somebody who has realized the self is Siddha, the perfect master. Siddha means he who has achieved, the great master. Siddhan focus. When you see a Siddha walking, you must at the moment prostrate before him, because it is Shiva who is walking. So that is why we say Naguroradhikam, 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 Naguroradhikam. There is nothing beyond the master. Every deity is contained in the master. So a perfect master is Shiva himself. He should be viewed as Shiva himself, nothing short of which.
ഇവിടെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വിദ്യാസാഗർജി ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാം ഓഡിയൻസിനും. ഇപ്പൊ വിദ്യാസാഗർജി പറഞ്ഞു ഒരു ട്രഡീഷനിൽ ബിലോങ് ചെയ്യണ ഒരു സേജ് ആയിരുന്നു സ്വാമി അയ്യപ്പൻ. അപ്പൊ ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്കോ ശ്രുതിക്കോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ കാണണ പ്രേക്ഷകർക്ക് നമ്മൾ ഏത് പരമ്പരയിലാണ്, കാരണം നമ്മൾ ആർട്ട് ഓഫ് ലിവിംഗിലും നമ്മൾ പൂജയ്ക്ക് ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ ഗോത്രം എന്താണെന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇതെടുക്കും, പക്ഷെ നമുക്കത് മിക്കവാറും ആൾക്കാർക്ക് അറിയില്ല. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഏത് പരമ്പരയുടെ ലീനിയേജിലാണ് വരണേ, അങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് എവിടെയെങ്കിലും ഗൂഗിൾ ചെയ്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എവിടെയെങ്കിലും can we find that out? Is there any way?
See, there are two things a man must do. A man in the sense, a human being, man or woman. One is to find out his Kula Devata. It's very important. The second is to find out his religious practice according to his lineage of masters. So there are two lineages coming down. One is the parampara of gurus. There is a lineage of masters or rishis. Another is the parampara of devatas. So if you observe clear ideas and practice spirituality in that lineage, it will give you instant results. No doubt. If you are digging the wrong place, it will be very difficult for you to find out water. That is why you have seen some people come and stick on to an organization for some time, and after that, this is not my place. They leave. It's natural. So, find out your Kula Devata first. How to find out the Kula Devata? Easy method. Easy method. In Kerala, there are different jati. That means caste system. Everywhere it is there. Each jati has a different system of following their religious customs and familial customs. Suppose I see Nair attached to your names, Preeta Nair and Shruti Nair. So Nair community in Kerala, they hold mother as the highest. Father is sidelined. Ammavan is ruling. You understand? Yeah. So Ammavan is uncle, maternal uncle. Ammavan. That means maternal uncle. So matrilineal system is followed by Nairs. For us, Brahmin families and other different castes, they follow the patrilineal system. For us, it is the father who holds the highest position. For you, it is the mother. So when you go home or when you call your mother next time, ask her, which is the deity worshipped by your mother's lineage? Mostly it is goddess. It should be goddess. Because in old Nair ancestral homes, there will be something called Machil Bhagavati. Yeah, Machil Bhagavati. Mach means an attic. In the attic, they have an idol of Bhuvaneshwari. Bhuvaneshwari. That Bhuvaneshwari is worshipped by Nairs, and that worship is called Shakteyam. Shakteyam. So Nairs gain immensely by doing Shakteyam. If I go and do Shakteyam, it will not work for me. Nowadays, everyone is doing everything. So there is no, use of telling them what to do. Everyone is searching Google. Who is my dad? You see, now such a generation, a lost generation. They think that Google is a guru, Sadguru Google Ji. So it's a foolishness. Go to your roots. Ask your mom. Talk to them. Ask your maternal uncle if you're Nair. If you belong to Irava community or Tiya community, they have patrilineal system. Father holds the highest position. Brahmins also have the same. Brahmins also, father holds the highest position. So that deity which is worshipped by the father becomes the Kuladeva. For you, it is the deity that mother's family worshipped. Okay. So in olden days, almost all the Nair Taravadus, that the ancestral homes had Bhuvaneshwari Puja and Shakti. Regularly, they used to do that. Now they are doing something wrong. And see, even for pranayama to be fulfilled, your deity's blessings should be there. That is where the experience differ. There are thousands of people doing the same type of pranayama, but the results are different. Same pranayama by same guru, same sort of methods, but the result is different because you have a practiced, well-trodden path. Now you are traveling somewhere else. For that also to be fulfilled, these blessings are important, very important. So I'm not digressing from the topic. I was answering your question. First, find out your Kula Devadam. Do something, at least light a lamp every day to that deity. Very simple. And then you pray whatever. You go to Google G and ask whatever. But basic things should be set right. Second thing, you must find out what sort of a religious practice that was going on in your family. That is possible only by discussion with your parents or forefathers. And then if you do that, definitely that will work. And I'll tell you how. My dad was a Veda student. My grandfather was a student of Veda. Great grandfather was a student of Veda. So it was natural for me to learn Veda. I followed suit. It was like a dolphin's baby swimming. There is no wonder. A dolphin's baby need not have any training. It needs to be just put into water. It swims. It jumps happily. But if a dolphin's baby is made to walk, it will be a very difficult path for it. Torture. N number of problems. That is why so many people come to me and complain, I did that particular yoga and I had a constant back pain. It is not the mistake of the master. It is your mistake. The technique has no problem. But you are doing a number of things by getting attached to the advertisements. Nowadays, it is like that people need to advertise. Then only people understand. So, Ayyappa belonged to the Tamil Siddha tradition. He learned from Pulipani. The same tiger was brought in to the palace. Now you see 18 steps to Ayyappa in Shabarimala. Unnupathinetambadi Sharanam Ponnambalamal Mugalil Keri Pandala Rajakumaran Padam Paniyan Purusharan Padam Paniyan Purusharan. Unnu 18 ketti. His father built 18 steps for him to reside at the end of his life. You see how loving was Ayyappa's dad, King Rajasekhara. He knew that his son is not going to get married. He knew that his son is not a normal, ordinary boy. There is something extraordinary in him. So let him do tapas. For that, father built a new house for him, in fact, later became a temple with 18 steps. Why was this 18 steps created? 18 steps are 18 siddhas. There are 18 siddhas, disciples of Agastya. 18 Siddhanmar. 18 Siddharhal in Tamil Nadu it is said. So many I can name. Agastya being the first, Puripani, Chattai Mamuni, and Patanjali. That is Patanjali and Vyagrapada. Gorakar, who is Goraknath in North India. His disciple Machendra, Matsyendranatha. Like that, all the traditions of yoga in India are from 18 Siddhas. So Ayyappa being one of the Siddhas or being the last Siddha in the tradition, he was worshipped by everyone in the world. It is believed that Siddhas come and visit Ayyappa in Shabarimala. So it is given such importance. 18 steps are worshipped. There is only in Shabarimala that steps are worshipped. Padi Puja. Why is it worshipped? They are all Siddhas, masters, equivalent to Shiva. Anything else? Any question?
We can continue. We can continue.
Yeah. So this is a great tradition. It is not like other temple visits or worship. Other temples are deities installed, and it has a particular puja system. We must follow Mula Mantra. Everything is there, but it is not associated with a spiritual practice. Only certain temples like Attugal Devi temple, where there is a spiritual practice of Pongala. Pongala or Pongal in Tamil Nadu. Pongala means what? Rising up. Ponga. Rising up of energies. Pongal. It is not actually rising up of energies. It is related to childbirth. So the rice is cooked and rice is made to flow, overflow. So it is a semen and the bija. In a ghatam is the womb of a mother. So mother is worshipped, Attugal Amma is worshipped by women alone, not men. Men are not allowed. But in Shabarimala, women are not allowed, only men. Understand? So these temples are associated with a certain mystical practice. So many people think that hey, going to temple, what is the benefit of it? Regularly visit a temple, you will naturally come to a position where prashanti flows out of you all the time. 24 hours you'll feel there is a presence, a divine presence. Regularly visit the temple. When you prostrate to the deity, don't look here and there. you do your duty, go to the deity, follow the practices, chant the Mula Mantra a number of times, daily do that. That will definitely greatly help. No doubt about it. Mumbai, do have temples nearby?
I just have a temple right next to my house. We have a matha, Shankaracharya matha.
Really. So is there a deity?
Yeah, we're doing the puja now, Sabrimala puja, right? They do lighting up the lamps every night, evenings. So the mutt
I'm asking you, is there a deity installed?
Tirupati.
Tirupati Balaji. Yeah, right. For you? Preeta Nair?
ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഇവിടെയും ഒരു ശിവന്റെ ടെമ്പിൾ ഉണ്ട്. ഞങ്ങളുടെ കുലദേവത നമ്മുടെ പേരണ്ടൂർ ഭഗവതിയാണ്. അപ്പോ വിദ്യാസാഗർജി പറഞ്ഞത് ശരിയാ. ഭഗവതിയാണ്. നമ്മൾ ഭഗവതിയെ നോക്കും, പിന്നെ വിളക്കം കത്തിക്കും. അപ്പൊ ആ കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞത് ശരിയാണ് വിദ്യാസാഗർജി.
Very good. We must keep the tradition. It's very important.
Yeah. Even in my house, actually, we pray to Bhagavati. We have a Devi.
So if a Nair family person starts chanting the Devi Mahatmyam, things will happen very automatically. Yeah, or Lalita Sahasranam, both, any. So it will definitely help you a lot. I think in your lineage also, your master has inculcated a lot of sampradayas in that. Rudra Abhishekam and pujas, everything. It is important because he knows that everyone has a Kuladaivatam. We cannot forget that. Since we are doing pranayama, we cannot say, I don't want any deity. So we must definitely fulfill their, it's important, you see. So anyway, yeah.
Guruji, in fact, gives importance to the karma kand, wherein
Yes.
we have a proper Vedic uh, 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 place where pujas happen very regularly. Namla Monday Rudramunda, Velliyaicha Lalita and Devi Mahatmyam is there. Then we celebrate Navratri, Shivratri also in a very very grand manner, following the
Very good.
rituals.
Very good. Very
ഇന്ന്
good.
വിദ്യാസാഗർജി പറഞ്ഞതിൽ എനിക്ക് ഒരു കാര്യം, നമ്മുടെ പ്രേക്ഷകർക്ക് ഒരു കാര്യം മനസ്സിലായത്, നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ കുലദേവതയുടെ ഓർമ്മ ഇല്ലാണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഒരു കാര്യമായിട്ട് അവരുടെ അനുഗ്രഹം ഇല്ലാണ്ട് നമുക്ക് മുമ്പോട്ട് പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പോ അതൊരു it's a very big realization, I think, for all the viewers. We would like to tell you, a lot of our Malayali friends and our Tamil friends are watching this, so it's going really good. Vidyasagarji, please continue and tell us how does Mahishi comes in and what is the significance of
Mahishi was already come in. Mahishi has left the scene.
how did
Mahishi Gaya. No.
Swami Ayyappa
I don't know Hindi. I don't know Hindi.
मर गई.
Now it is 18 steps.
Acha.
Yeah.
Keep something
We
for
are now
tomorrow.
we are now climbing the 18th step. You are pulling us back.
No,
Yeah,
we
to the
have to keep
forest.
something for tomorrow, Vidyasagarji.
Oh, really? So 18 steps are like 18 siddhas, where they are regularly worshipped. Most Ayyappas usually they cry and touch each step. The rush in Sabarimala. Every minute, 100 to 500 people pass that gate. Every minute. That's a huge rush. Even in that rush, people cry, and automatically they cry and touch each step. They don't know the philosophy, but they somehow realize there is something special in these steps. Now, there are some very blessed people who, on a particular day in the morning, they don't feel like eating. They don't eat. Noon comes, your mother calls you, come eat. No, I don't want. You read Bhagavatam, you read Ramayanam, or you read whatever spiritual text or Guru's book, whatever. In the evening also, you don't feel like eating it. Next morning, you realize that yesterday was Ekadashi.
Wow.
Yeah, such are the blessed devotees. If you know it previous day, it is not that meritorious. Unknowingly, if you observe Ekadashi out of natural intuition, you are a devotee. There is a check. You check yourself. How are you? Can you intuitively know what Tithi a day is? Then your Ajna Chakra is perfectly working.
Vidyasagarji, tomorrow we have Vaikuntha Ekadashi. So can you speak about Vaikuntha Ekadashi and the blessings surrounding it? We are ending it on such a beautiful day, and then we have Kartik Purnima after that. So can you speak?
No, you know what? In Kartik Purnima, there is one thing. Kartika is the birth star of goddess Parvati, Parvati Devi. And in Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu, Arunachalam, on top of the hill, a huge lamp is split, a huge ghee lamp. It is called Arunachala Deepam, Kartika Deepam. It marks the merging of Shakti into Shiva.
Wow.
So the hill has become Shiva Shakti Swarupa. Playfully, Parvati was a teenager at the time. He was so playful. She was so playful. Shiva was very old. When such a marriage happens, the wife will be very naughty. She'll be like a child. The husband will be like, he does not even know how to say hi. So he'll be like always so.
Vidyasagarji, don't tell that joke to anyone. Huh?
No. But I'm telling you that naturally, when such a marriage happens, husband is very serious, realizing the reality of life and death. But wife will be like, An art of living practitioner, always smiling, make you smile, happy, dance karo, like that. So, so what happened one fine day was Shiva was just sitting there. Parvati Devi came from behind and playfully closed his eyes. We play like Arannu parayamo, we say. Like that. For a minute. But in that minute, something terrible happened. In that minute, the entire landscape dried up, water bodies dried up, sun and moon went in exile because one eye of Shiva is sun, left eye is moon, representing the Ida Pingala. You know that? Yeah, you know that, right? When you do pranayama, you know that? Left side is Ida, right side is Pingala. Central nervous Sushumna. Yeah, central nerve, and all these three Triveni, where is Triveni? Then three rivers meet. Where is it? Ajna. So Shiva has three eyes. Two eyes to protect the world with sun and moon, and third eye to realize. This is the wisdom eye. So the world dried up. People started starving. No crop, nothing to eat. In 1 minute, Shiva's 1 minute was years on the plains. Shiva was very angry. He said, "What did you do, Parvati? You did something grave, a grave mistake. Don't you know that my one eye is sun and the another is moon? The world is suffering because of your playfulness." Parvati was so remorseful. She said, "I playfully did. I didn't know. I didn't know who you are. I didn't know that. I was just being playful with you. You're my husband." Then when Shiva said, "You must do penance. You must do something to atone to your act, atone this act." She said, "Immediately I'm going south. South is the best place to do tapas because Agastya is there, Askiri Manjunatha. South is full of forest in that time because now it is full of rubber sheet and rubber trees. Agastya is left already." So Parvati came down. When she was coming down, she saw a lot of people crying, "Amma, Amma, give me something. I'm starving. My baby is starving." People were crying. So many of them. Some of them died out of hunger. Mother could not hold her tears back. She said, "I will feed you. Bring a pot and a ladle. I'll feed you." Somebody immediately took a pot and ladle. Without anything inside, she just waved the ladle and started distributing food. Thousands of people started eating from Amma. So many people came. Food was still there. It was like Akshaya Patra. Since the news went into the kingdom, Kashi Raja, the place was Kashi. Kashi Raja said, "Who is that mother? It must be Parvati Devi. Nobody else can do that." Kashi Raja ran to the spot and prostrated before that lady. She was like a human lady. She appeared as a human lady with two hands. Then Kashi Raja prostrated and said, "Mother, I know that you are goddess Parvati. Now you are Annapurneshwari." So this was the history behind Annapurneshwari. Now you are Annapurneshwari. You're giving food to everyone. Please stay in my kingdom as my Kuladevata. Please. Mother said, "You will not have any trouble. You'll be fed always. But now I'm going to south to atone to what I did to Parameswara, to the world. You were starving because of my playful act." It is like you throw to the mango tree, somebody's head is broken, like that. Your intention was not to break his head, but it happened likewise. So she went south and she went to the ashram of Gautama Maharshi and started doing penance. So in Tamil Nadu, Parvati is called Pachayamman. Pachayamman because Arunachala is a primordial hill, which was a column of fire incarnated in between Brahma and Vishnu and later became a normal hill. It was actually a volcano in the beginning. So that is the beginning of the story of Shivaratri. So Shiva was dried up, all dried up, everything every landscape was dried up. There was not even a tree with a green leaf, with a green leaf. When mother came to south, automatically trees started sprouting, green leaves started coming. So Parvati in Tamil Nadu is called Pachayamman, the green mother, because she brought greenery to the world again. You understand? So you can see that Madurai Meenakshi is always painted as green. So that means prosperity, greenery, nature. So she's called Pachayamman. Even now in Tiruvannamalai, there is a temple called Pachayamman temple where actually Gautama Maharshi's ashram situated, where Mother Parvati came and did penance to Arunachala. And what was the prayer of Mother Parvati? Mother Parvati said, "Oh Bhagavan, oh Lord Shiva, Mahadeva, I played with you because I am separate from you. I am separate from you. If I were one with you, I would not have committed any mischief. Make me one with you." This should be the prayer of every devotee. Not just to pray and ask for material things. Make me one with you. Make me inseparable from you. And Parvati's wish was granted on a Kartika day when Parvati became one with Shiva, and they are called Shiva Shakti Aikyarupini. So this is the story of Kartika Deepam. So in remembrance of that day, devotees even today light a big lamp on top of the hill on Kartika. Kartika Deepam is coming on 29th, and it's a Paurnami also, but Paurnami Tithi starts in the midnight. So this time Kartika Deepam is at 3 a.m. Yeah, we are running short of time. She said, Harivarasana is, 9:43. You're taking too much time. Tomorrow, no class.
No, we'll have one more class tomorrow. We'll quickly do a recap. Yeah. So we learned today about the lineages, about how, the first Siddha being Shiva, then the
Chief.
chieftain being Murugan, how Muruga means very beautiful and enchanting. Then he spoke about the Tantra Vidyas being Lalitambika being the number one Devi, and then the chieftains being Matangi and Varahi, and how Shasta was one of the siddhas, and how what is the importance of forest he spoke about, right? Like when you have to find lot of meanings in life, that those things can be found in the forest represents the innocence in us. Then he spoke about how the son was brought to the palace, and how the mother was, he told a story about how the mother falling sick and people wanting him to go and get the milk of the tiger, and then he gets the tiger himself, and being one of the siddhas himself. Then he spoke about 18 steps of of Shabrimala. Tomorrow we'll hear about what is the culmination, the final culmination of Mahasamadhi, and what is the significance of January 14th, when everybody goes and prays, and what does Ayyappa as a culture represent to our Indian subcontinent, and what we can learn from him, a saint or a siddha or an enlightened that walked this planet eons ago, but is so relevant yet even today. He also spoke about how it is very important, which I would really ask all of our viewers to go back and find out, is which is your Kula Devta, and then as Vidyasagarji was saying, that we need to pray for their blessings also for our spiritual growth. And with this, we end our session with the bhajan today. But looking forward to meeting every one of you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Vaikunta Ekadashi, and we are ending it up on a very, very auspicious day. So, Shruti and me come, like, we also have a ISKCON lineage wherein, Kartik Mas, am I right, Shruti? It is celebrated very well. So, one of the things that somebody told me that I would like to prescribe is you can light a ghee lamp to Krishna. Am I right, Shruti?
Yes, yes. And you can hear the Damodar Ashtakam.
Yeah, so those are two. Even Vishnu Sahasranama hearing tomorrow is a very, very good tip for tomorrow, guys. And with this, let's all pray to Ayyappa for always.
May I say something? Can I leave now because it is already late? You can have your bhajans. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I touch everyone's feet. Namah Shivaya.
Share screen.
ഹരിവലാസനം വിശ്വമോഹനം ഹരിതീശ്വരം ആരാധ്യപാദുകം ഹരിവിമർദ്ദനം നിത്യനർത്തനം ഹരിഹരാത്മജം ദേവമാശ്രയേ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണകീർത്തനം ഭക്തമാനസം ഭരണലോകം നർത്തനാലസം അരുണഭാസുരം ഭൂതനായകം ഹരിഹരാത്മജം ദേവമാശ്രയേ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ പ്രണയ സത്യകം പ്രാണനായകം പ്രണതകൽപകം സുപ്രഭാഞ്ചിതം പ്രണവമന്ദിരം കീർത്തനപ്രിയം ഹരിഹരാത്മജം ദേവമാശ്രയേ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ തുരഗവാഹനം സുന്ദരാനനം വരഗദായുധം വേദവന്ദിതം ഗുരുകൃപാകരം കീർത്തനപ്രിയം ഹരിഹരാത്മജം ദേവമാശ്രയേ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ പ്രഭുവനാർച്ചിതം ദേവതാത്മകം പ്രഭയനം പ്രഭു ദിവ്യദേശികം ത്രിദശപൂജിതം ചിന്തിതപ്രദം ഹരിഹരാത്മജം ദേവമാശ്രയേ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ഭവഭയാപഹം ഭാവുകാവകം യൗവനമോഹനം ഭൂതിഭൂഷണം ധവളവാഹനം ദിവ്യവാരണം ഹരിഹരാജം ദേവമാശ്രയം ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ കളമൃദുസ്മിതം സുന്ദരാനനം കളഭകോമളം ഗാത്രമോഹനം കളഭകേസരീ വാജിവാഹനം ഹരിഹരാത്മജം ദേവമാശ്രയേ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശ്രുതജനപ്രിയം ചിന്തിതപദം ശ്രുതിവിഭൂഷണം സാധുജീവനം ശ്രുതിമനോഹരം ഗീതരാലസം ഹരിഹരാത്മജം ദേവമാശ്രയേ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ സ്വാമി ശരണമയ്യപ്പ പഞ്ചാദ്രീശ്വരി മംഗളം ഹരിഹര പ്രേമാകൃതേ മംഗളം പിഞ്ചാലംകൃതമംഗളം പ്രണമതാം ചിന്താമണി മംഗളം പഞ്ചാസ്യ ധ്വജമംഗളം ത്രിജഗദാമാദ്യ പ്രഭോ മംഗളം പഞ്ചാസ്ത്രോപമ മംഗളം ശ്രുതിശിരോലങ്കാര സന്മംഗളം
So see you all tomorrow and Jai Gurudev.